What's up, YouTube? TMNT here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, the films that are celebrating its 10th anniversary. Oh boy, I feel so old just even talk about these ones. We, of course, got the very underrated comedy, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Now, this movie, of course, starred the likes of Steve Carell, Jim Carrey. You also had Steve Buscemi, the late James Gandolfini. Olivia Wilde was also in this. And if you guys don't know much about the story here, it follows Las Vegas magician Burt Wonderstone, played by Steve Carell, who attempts to reunite with his former partner Anton Marvin, played by Steve Buscemi, and of course, to take they decided to take on the dangerous street magician Steve Gray, played wonderfully by Jim Carrey, who. I gotta say, Jim Carrey was awesome in this. I mean, he really put off this magician very well. This movie did not really get that much recognition, which I think it should have, because this movie is really fun. It's really entertaining. You know, who does not love a good magician comedy? And this is a really fun one. So, yeah, if you guys never really seen Burt Wonderstone, do yourself a favor, go watch that one. All right. Also turning 10. Also turning 10, we got the Halle Berry film, The Core. Now, the call was actually from WWE's studios, who I think they're still making films out. Uh, and in it, the film also features Abigail Breslin as Casey Wilson, who's a teen girl who's kidnapped by a mysterious serial killer, and Halle Berry, who's this 911 operator, still suffering from emotionally from a prior failed bought 911 call. And this movie is really entertaining. I mean, it will keep you on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. Halle Berry was pretty fun in this. You also had, speaking of Sopranos, you had Michael Perrioli was also in this. Boris Chestnut, really fun flick. Really, edge on your seat. Drill ride. I mean, if you guys have not really seen The Core, go check it out. It's a really fun flick. And the other film turning the big 1-0, we got Harmony Korine's Spring Breakers. Now now Spring Breakers, which was of course actually the first A24 movie I actually ever saw, and of course A24 would go on to went pretty big this past week, but Spring Breakers is a joy. Of course, directed by Harmony Korine, starring the likes of James Franco, Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, Ashley Benson. Gucci Mane was actually really good in this. I mean, if you guys don't know much about the story of Spring Breakers, it got released all the way back in 2013. And it was, a crime film written and directed by Harmony Korine. And you had Selena Gomez, Ashley Benson, Rachel Curran, and Vanessa Hudgens, all portraying college-age girls who go on spring break in St. Petersburg, Florida, and meet an eccentric local drug dealer played by James Franco, who helps them in a time of desperation. And I mean, let's just say this is one of the most weirdest movies you'll ever want to see. I mean, Spring Breakers is literally a film that you either like or you don't like. And I'm one of the folks who actually liked it. Spring Breakers is hands down really fun. James Franco playing like this gangster drug dealer, I think is really cool. I mean, and of course the four lead females are great. If you guys have never really seen Spring Breakers, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It is a really fun job. All right. Also turning 20, we of course got Robert Myers Burnett's producing credit film Agent Cody Banks. Of course, this star Frankie Muniz. You had Hilary Duff was in this. Um, I mean, what you say about Agent Cody Banks? Of course, it was pretty much like a teenage James Bond if you look at it. Uh, And if follow the adventures of the 15-year-old Tyler character played by Frankie Muniz, who has who has to finish his chores and avoid getting grounded and save the world by going undercover for the CIA as a James Bond type super spy. And of course, you had like Hillary Duff was in this, Keith David. You had Daryl Hammond was in this. Ian McShane was even in this. I mean, I really like Agent Cody Banks. I always found this movie to be a really fun, pleasant surprise. Frankie Muniz, it's a shame he doesn't really do anything anymore because I always liked Frankie Muniz. Hilary Duff was great in this. Really fun flick if you guys ever seen it. All right, there's also the movie Willard, which is actually remake, if you will, of the 1971 of the same name. And you have like a Chris McGlover's in this. And this is, of course, about a killer rat here, which, yeah, I'm in New York City, so not the great time to talk about movies with rats. But the Willard remake is actually not so bad. Like Chris McGlover, who does not love Chris McGlover? You had Ollie Ermy was in this, Laura Herring. I mean, this is also based on a novel of the same name as well. I mean, I really think it's a little like if you ever want to see like a horror movie about a rat, this is one for you. All right. There's also the film The Haunted with Tom Lee Jones, Connie Nielsen, Benicio del Toro. Not a bad flick there. There's the movie Spun, which had the likes of the late Brittany Murphy, Jason Schwartzman, John Leguizamo, Mina Safari, Alexis Arquette, Pierre Stormare, Eric Roberts. And it's actually pretty much based on like director Jonas Eklund's life experiences. And it's a really, dark. Speaking of rats, all right, I'm getting out from here because there's a rat. Oh, as I was saying, uh, yeah, this movie I guess you could say is very okay. I'm actually gonna move over there. Less rats on this side. Hey, right. All right. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. Anyway, as I was saying, uh, yeah, Spun is a really decent, like, little, dark comedy that got released back in the early 2000s. Really a movie about, like, that has to deal with, like, lots of drugs and humor and stuff like that. It's a very dark comedy if you guys ever seen it, so, yeah. What's over here? Oh, much better. Anywho. All right, now turning dirty this week, we of course got the not so good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And I mean, of course, this is the follow-up to 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, which I always keep forgetting the actual name of that one. But that aside, this one is not a great one at all. I was never a fan of this third installment. Now, of course, you did had like Corey Feldman was also in this. You had some other really cool players. So they had everything going for it. They had everything going for it, but yeah, I was not a fan of this one at all. All right. Now, also turning 30, we got Point of No Return. Now, this was, of course, directed by John Badham, who, of course, gave us War Games, Short Circuit, Saturday Night Fever. And here, it's about a strung out junkie named Maggie, played by Bridget Fonda, who, kills a police officer during the robbery of a drugstore. And after, like, being sentenced, to die at her trial here, she is given a mysterious second chance that she can either become an elite assassin for the government or face the death penalty here. Now, also you have like Dermot Mulroney's also in this, Michael Rappaport and Bancroft, Harvey Keitel's in this. It is a really fun like 90s female action thriller here. I mean, Bridget Fonda, it's a shame that she hasn't really done anything in years. I mean, of course, remember she was in Single White Female. What other shit? Bridget Fonda movies. Everyone was some of her other friends. Like she was almost everywhere in like the 90s. Of course she did that. She was of course in Lake Placid. She was also in that Jet Li movie, The One, which is pretty fun too. It's she doesn't really. It is a shame that Jane Fonda. It's a shame that Bridget Fonda doesn't really do as much as she used to. But hey, this movie she was really cool. And, she was really fierce. You had Gabriel Bryan was also in this. Very fun flick. If you guys ever seen that? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me leave it to you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one is actually going to be Spring Breakers. That's the one that really stuck out to me the most. The 20-year one, I'm going to go with Agent Cody Banks. And and the 30-year one, I'm going to go with Point of No Return. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Henry signing out.